Imagine two scenarios. Scenario 1, a mathematical genius with an IQ of 160. He can solve the world's most complex equations in his head, yet he freezes and breaks into a cold sweat when he has to make small talk in an elevator. He climbs the corporate ladder quickly due to his technical brilliance, but eventually hits a ceiling. Why? Because not a single employee wants to work for a cold machine. Scenario 2, a student with average grades who never topped a single class. But he has a strange superpower. He can read people's emotions just by looking at them. He knows when to speak, when to stay silent, and how to de-escalate a heated argument. 10 years later, he is the CEO of a major corporation, leading thousands of those geniuses. The question is, who is truly intelligent? For decades, we've worshipped IQ as the master key to success, but reality tells a different story. Today, we're going deep into the labyrinth of the human brain to decode the battle between IQ and EQ and find out which one truly shapes your destiny. First, let's redefine the rules of the game. IQ, intelligence quotient, is your logical intelligence. It measures information processing, abstract reasoning, problem solving, and linguistic ability. Think of it as the hardware of a computer. If you have a high IQ, your processor is lightning fast. You learn quickly, remember long-term, and analyze data with surgical precision. EQ, emotional quotient, or emotional intelligence, is a different beast. It doesn't measure what you know, but how you manage yourself and your relationships. According to Daniel Goleman, EQ has 5 pillars: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. If IQ is the hardware, EQ is the operating system that determines how effectively that hardware functions in the real world. The biggest difference is this: IQ gets you through the door of a prestigious company, but EQ is what keeps you in the leadership chair and prevents you from burning out under pressure. Why do we have this split? The answer lies in our evolutionary history. Biologically, IQ is primarily driven by the prefrontal cortex, the most recently evolved part of the brain responsible for logic and planning. EQ, however, is deeply rooted in the limbic system, specifically the amygdala, the ancient center for processing emotions. There is a phenomenon called amygdala hijack. Have you ever been so angry that you said something incredibly stupid that you regretted seconds later? In that moment, your IQ, no matter how high, was disabled by your emotions. Research from Harvard and Stanford has revealed a shocking statistic. IQ contributes only about 20% to financial and career success. The other 80% comes from EQ and social intelligence. Why? Because humans are social animals. We don't work in a vacuum. Every business decision, every negotiation, and every collaboration is fueled by the emotions between people. A vital question: are we born smart or can we learn it? IQ is largely genetic and tends to stabilize after early adulthood. You can't really train your IQ to jump from 100 to 150. It's like your height. There is a certain biological ceiling. But EQ is different. EQ is a skill based on neuroplasticity. You can learn to empathize, learn to control your temper, and learn to communicate effectively at any age. This is the good news for all of us. Success isn't a privilege reserved for those born with genius brains. It is a process of cultivating your character and your conduct. This difference creates a paradox. People with extremely high IQs often rely too much on logic and dismiss emotions, leading them to become isolated within their own brilliance. Meanwhile, those with high EQ know how to leverage the resources of others to compensate for their own weaknesses. We need to stop weighing IQ and EQ to see which is better. In reality, they are a tag team. Let's call it the threshold effect. To become a great engineer, doctor, or lawyer, you need a minimum IQ, a threshold to enter the profession. But once you've crossed that threshold, IQ is no longer the differentiator. At this point, EQ becomes your ultimate weapon. True success isn't just the number in your bank account or the title on your business card. Success is the ability to remain calm in a storm, the ability to inspire others, and the ability to know exactly what you want. A person with high IQ but low EQ is like a Ferrari without a steering wheel. You can go very fast, but you'll hit a wall at the very first turn. How do you upgrade your EQ operating system? Here are 3 practical exercises. The 6-second rule. When you face a triggering situation, pause for 6 seconds before reacting. 6 seconds is the time it takes for emotional chemicals in the brain to dissipate, allowing your logical mind to regain control. Active listening. Don't listen to reply, listen to understand. When someone speaks, observe their body language and tone instead of just focusing on the words. The emotional journal. At the end of the day, write down 3 moments where you felt a surge of emotion. Why did you feel that way? How did you react? Naming an emotion is the first step to mastering it. In the end, IQ might help you solve difficult problems on paper, but EQ helps you solve the difficult problems of life. Don't worry if you aren't the smartest person in the room. Focus on being the most understanding, the most patient, and the most connected. Because ultimately, this world isn't run by numbers, it's run by people. Which intelligence will you choose to develop starting today? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to explore more about the depths of the human mind.